Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to a Get Ready With Me. Today we are going to do the makeup that I am doing for the April Makeup Challenge and the first week of the April Makeup Challenge, which is a Pantone inspired makeup challenge. I do this in collaboration with a few ambassadors over on Instagram. The initiator of this challenge, Ludovica from Il Caos della Monite, gives us some prompts. She thinks through the challenge at the beginning of each month, and once a week on every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central European Standard Time, we publish on Instagram the looks with the theme of that week. For the month of April, we are going to be inspired by Pantone colors, especially, of course, Living Coral, which is the color of the year, plus all of the surrounding colors for the year 2019, and each week we will have 4 colors to work with. So while I'm gonna prepare that look for Instagram and that you guys can follow along, and I also wanted to chat about my trip to Paris. I got a lot of nice messages from you guys saying, oh, let us know how it went and have fun, enjoy. So I just thought it would be nice to let you know how it went. But let me start getting ready so that I can also chit chat and think about it, and I should be able to get everything done. I'm not gonna talk through too much the makeup because otherwise I wouldn't talk about anything else. You'll find all the products in the description bar below, and yeah, let's get started. So I had planned a trip with my mom because last year, in preparation for the wedding, she helped me a lot, and we had the wedding in Italy, where I'm originally from. So I went to Italy quite a few times alone without my husband to prepare the wedding. It was such a great time to hang out with my mom that we said, well, let's do this every year. Just take a long weekend and spend it together without the men. And one thing that we know we both like to do and the men don't like to do is city trips. So we decided to have our first yearly city trip in Paris this year, and yeah, it was working fine because there is a flight, a Ryanair flight for her from Venice, and for me there is a high-speed train that goes from Amsterdam to Paris in I think 3 hours or so. So I just caught it in Rotterdam, which is on the way, and yeah, went there on a Thursday afternoon. It was easy trip for me, at least. I had no problems whatsoever. The train was fine and quick, and I usually sleep in every moving vehicle, so, well, except if I drive, I guess. So it was fine. And then I had we met in the afternoon, and we had decided to go immediately to the Louvre because yeah, we were fresh. It was an afternoon, so there would be less people around. And in the end, with my mom's flight having issues, we only managed to get in at 4:30. My lips are killing me. Sorry, I'm having some sort of allergic reaction here, and that's why you could see it before my foundation that it was all red. Anyways, getting back to the story, we went to the Louvre. We only had an hour and a half because on Thursdays it closes at 6. I thought that was ridiculous, by the way, because the other days it closes at 10. So we were a bit unfortunate, let's say. And we just went through and saw a few things. We managed to see the Mona Lisa, of course, and quite a few nice other paintings and sculptures. I personally really like ancient history, as in Romans and Greeks, so that was kind of the things I was interested in, and my mom instead wanted to see Italian and French painters, so we did a bit of both, and we decided that we definitely have to go back because there was no time. 1.5 hours was really no time, but we had the tickets already, and we had planned on being there around 3 o'clock, so then we had 2.5 hours, and that could have been enough also just for the amount of time that we wanted to spend in the museum. But that was really, really nice, and yeah, as a first day activity, I really liked it. Also, the idea of this trip wasn't really to I don't know, see all of the museums and do all cultural things. We actually wanted to relax as well and just enjoy each other's company and do fun things that we wanted to do, nothing that we felt like we had to. So we had booked just a few activities and the rest we winged it pretty much the whole time. We walked that day through the gardens in front of the Louvre down to Place de la Concorde, and then went to have dinner just across the river. It was a great first day. Really happy with it, and the Louvre is definitely something I'll be going back to next time I go to Paris, because now, of course, after I came back, my husband's like, "Oh, but I would come to Paris with you." I'm like, "Of course you would. Of course you would." And then Friday, what did we do on Friday? Friday we had aimed to only go shopping, actually, which didn't really happen, in the sense that we went a little bit around the city. We went to see Notre Dame. We went to see we were aiming to go see the catacombs, but it was really like the hugest line, and it was a beautiful sunny day, and we were like, yeah, I don't want to sit in line for hours on end. We stayed, I think, for a whole hour in line, and it had moved like 5 people, so we said, yeah, this is not happening. So we walked from the catacombs, which are in the south of the city in Montparnasse, via the Luxembourg Gardens to Notre Dame. So we saw all the Latin neighborhood, really nice buildings, the Sorbonne University we saw, and then we reached Notre Dame. We went inside the church, and yeah, overall just went for a crepe afterwards and just kept walking around in the city. Just, you know, nose up, looking at the buildings, loving it. Very chilled, yeah, just walking around. And then we started shopping a little bit. I wanted to go to And Other Stories, which I don't have in Eindhoven, and actually we didn't find anything. We actually got stuck, both of us, into 2 professional cooking shops that were there, and oh my goodness, I wanted to buy everything. These knives, these everything was so good. And yeah, both my mom and I love cooking, so it was really like, oh, look at this pan, oh, look at this distance thermometer. You know how easy it would be to make caramel and just bavaroise and all of these sauces that need really specific temperatures when you have egg in it. Anyways. And then after that, we walked towards the Champs-Élysées, because we thought, yeah, well, shopping, let's go there and see what we can find for ourselves. And there it was the first like reality check, actually, because we saw all the damage done by the yellow gilets the previous weekend. So there were, I don't know, the Dior windows were smashed in, and there was damage, and there was a bunch of workers who were putting up barricades in front of the shops to prevent the yellow gilets to damage them further the next weekend. So on Saturday, they had already announced that they were having another of these protests by these yellow gilets, and that it usually happens in the center of the city, and they're quite violent. So they were preparing and like barricading the windows, and it was really uneasy. There was also a memorial for the policeman who had died the weekend before. That was just a little bit uneasy. It was a little bit sad. Okay, sorry guys, I had to do one eye off camera to understand what I wanted to do with the colors of the challenge. I have picked out my colors as well, and these are the colors of the challenge. I'll also put a photo up here because I think that's easier. It's a mustardy yellow, a red, a pinky tone, and a poopy brown officially, but I don't have a poopy brown on hand. So this is what we're going to do today. But returning to my trip to Paris, as I was mentioning, Saturday they had planned the protests. So we had thought, well, that's a good day to go visit the Castle of Versailles, which is an hour out of the city, and there won't be any problems. What we hadn't taken into account was that because of the protests, they would be closing all of the train stations, metro stations, and we were staying in Montmartre, so in the north of the city, and Versailles is all the way southwest. So we had a hard time getting to the train, I have to say. It took us 2 hours to get on the metro, the right metro, and then we got off the metro because the metro stopped running from a certain point before the Seine, and then we had to walk from the Hotel de l'Invalide until the Eiffel Tower, and that was a long walk. Also, we stopped a few times looking if we could get inside a few different metro stations. We couldn't, and then what we had to do was walk even further to the metro, to the edge of the center of the city that was open again, because everything else had been closed for the protests. So that was annoying. We got in Versailles at like 1 o'clock, and then of course we weren't the only ones with brains who had decided to get out of the city during the Saturday to avoid the protests. So what happened was that there was an hour-long queue, even though we had bought tickets beforehand. So let's say that it was a trying day. We had done 10,000 steps before 12 o'clock, and it wasn't like super easy, but it wasn't dangerous. Let's say we didn't meet any protesters between 10 and 12 when we were walking to the station. While talking and cutting a crease is really hard, people. So we were not in danger. There was no protesting in Versailles. I had seen only a few yellow gilets around, and a lot of police in the city. Everything was ready to be blocked and locked down. They were ready for it. And in the end, we saw in the news that it had been a bit more pacific and less violent, and there were just in general less people than the week before, and that the only damages were that they burnt some trash bins. I still think that you shouldn't be violent when you protest, but that is then my opinion, not my country. I don't know the problems. And Versailles was absolutely amazing. I loved seeing the castle itself. The inside had been sacked, and it had been already repurposed as a museum in the 1800s. So there wasn't really anything as similar to what the palace had been during its golden days, let's say. But it was still really, really interesting to visit. I'm very happy we did, and I had pushed for it, even though it was outside Versailles, outside Paris, because I love history. So I was really, really happy to have been able to go see it. And that was Saturday, and then I think Sunday we just walked around Montmartre. We went to the Sacré-Cœur, and then went down to the Opera, where there's also Printemps and the Lafayette department store. And I had heard of the Lafayette department store, and it was really, really busy. But what was much better was the Printemps. It was incredibly amazing high-end products, and one building per division. So there was a men's building, there was a women's building, and then there was a home and beauty building. It's like buildings, not just floors. It was awesome. And I mean, it's not in my budget, so there was all high-end brands and luxury couture and stuff like that. It's not in my budget, but it's also not something I'm interested in spending money in, to be honest. And it was just nice to visit it. It was a bit like a cultural adventure. We went to visit the expensive store. And in the end, actually, we didn't do much else than much more shopping, actually, than that. And that was all fine, I think. What I really liked is in Montmartre there were really nice small little jewelry shops, and there I found a beautiful necklace that my mom gifted me, even though I was very much ready to pay for it myself, but she wanted me to have a memory of the trip of the two of us, just the two of us, so she gifted me the necklace, which I don't have on today actually. And then on Sunday I took the train back to the Netherlands in the evening, and she went to Beauvais, which is where the Ryanair airport is, to get ready to fly the next morning at 9 a.m. So overall it was like 4 full days or 3 full days and some bits, but I don't know, I really liked it. I really enjoyed the city and hanging out with my mom. It was just really nice. Looking for a brow gel. And yeah, I would go back at any point. The thing was that we were exhausted. It was not a relaxing holiday whatsoever. I really got home that I needed, I don't know, I needed rehab. I needed physio for my calves. So we walked so many kilometers every single day, and yeah, but that's nice because then we managed to see a lot as well. I'm doubting whether I want a ridiculously big winged liner, but I am afraid of like ruining the whole look, but it would fit very well. I'm gonna try to wing it out more with a shadow and then see how it is, because it's probably enough. Also my eyes are hooded, so it's really hard to do a nice liner like everybody else. See, I don't like the look of it, because it just accentuates my hood, so to say. Let me see if I can fix it. I know some of you guys asked to see how I do these looks and what the process is, and this is kind of the process. Randomness, I call it. Absolute randomness. And now that my liner touches my brows, I can do it on the other side and then get back to you guys. Okay, since I did the most ginormous liner, I had to do the biggest lashes I own, and these are the House of Lashes Iconic Light. They're not even the big ones. But I think I told you about everything of my trip to Paris. Overall, very exciting. Wore all the makeup I said except for one lip product. In the meantime, I'm gonna go in with bronzer. Can you see? It crashed, it burned, it broke. Moulak Cosmetics Fiesta Cheeks, and the bronzer, which is nice and warm, but not orange, more like yellowy warm. And yeah, overall great trip. Would definitely recommend to go for a long weekend. And I came home so, I don't know, with wanting to travel, that I already booked a holiday with my husband to Luxembourg for a few days, and a ticket to go visit my friends in Milan. Yay! I'm so happy. I don't know, I'm just happy. My desk is full of this highlighter that broke. This is so annoying. Anyways, for blush I want to build up really slowly with the red and the yellow that I've used. The red is an eyeshadow, so it's really pigmented, but I'm gonna see if I can blend it out as much as possible. And yeah, what else can I tell you? Some of you know, if we've spoken in person, that I've been having quite some bad headaches recently. It's been quite bad. The doctor has told me that it is mostly a tension headache, and a tension headache is when all the muscles in your neck are pulling on the muscles around your skull and giving you a headache because of it. So that is what it looks like it is, but there's no medicine, painkillers, massage techniques that is actually doing anything to help me with it. So I'm actually full of painkillers all the time, and even then I had two really bad days lately. Even in Paris, the Friday was actually quite bad. So I'm a bit sad about that, especially because I don't seem to be able to fix it in any way. Too much blush? Never too much blush. But now I am seeing a neurologist, and I had my MRI and I had some blood work done, and hopefully next week, or actually by when this video goes up, since I'm filming it in the weekend, it should be, I don't know, I should have some answers, I hope. I of course hope the MRI was totally negative, they didn't see anything, they just see a functioning brain. Functioning brain. Physiologically functioning brain, let's say that. And then we'll go from there. I really hope there's no, I don't know, issues and bigger things that I have to deal with, because I don't want to. I'm pulling my blush up to my temples, the red one first, on the side of my head, close to my hairline. And I don't know, this color scheme really called or reminded me of the 70s. And especially actually, if you guys know Neve Cosmetics, you might remember the Tea Time collection or Tea Party collection, one of the two. And that is where the yellow tone is from. It's from that collection, and I think actually most of the colors really fit this color scheme. I know they had also a reddish toned blush, and then a more cooler toned pink as well. So yeah. Now that I have blush all over my face, I think it actually looks quite nice. I was thinking, oh, I'll have to take it all off if I want to leave the house today, but I don't mind it at all. I hope it translates nicely. It might be a bit intense down here, but I can try to blend this out. Yeah, maybe I brought the blush a bit too low. But that is that. Let's find a highlight, because I want to wear a highlight, of course. I'm gonna go with this duo Subtle Sunrise by Pixie and taking the darker one and using it, since I have blush all over, just as a blush topper everywhere. Let's see how that looks. The eyes are completely matte, so I could have just gone all matte, but I don't know, I can't give in highlight. On the lips, I've known all along, because if it's 70s vibe, I want Tansy by Colourpop. And here we go. This is the finished look. Using my glasses because I can't find my thingy. And I even have earrings here. There we go. How does that look for a 70s inspired makeup look? Except for the gigantic lashes. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this Get Ready With Me. I'm gonna go take the photos for this look for the challenge, which you will see today up on Instagram. I'll put this video up when the challenge goes up at 6 p.m. So yeah, go check out the other girls from the Pantone in Chaos makeup challenge. You will find them all searching for the hashtag, and please join us. The idea of this challenge is that we're ambassadors of it, and that anybody is anybody is welcome to interpret the challenge as they wish, and just tag us, use the hashtags, and so that we can find you guys and just share your looks as well. I hope you guys enjoyed another not really wearable look, but I really don't care. I love this makeup, and Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye, guys!